Hey guys, welcome back to the Lots About Something podcast. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the Lots About Something podcast, where we are the Lots, my wife Christy and I, and we talk about something. And we don't always know exactly what that something is going to be, but it's going to be something. And so I'm excited about it. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you could be anywhere doing anything, but I appreciate so much you taking your time to come and hang out just a couple of minutes with us today. Let me introduce my wife, Christy. Christy, how are you doing today?
Doing good.
That is your traditional...
Doing good. That's how I intro.
That's your traditional intro right there. Doing good.
Yep. That's how I respond when you ask me.
You know, somebody the other day, I was streaming on Twitch, and somebody the other day said they heard you talking, and they said that you had a Southern voice. Do you think you have a Southern voice?
For sure, yes.
For sure?
I'm as Southern as they get.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You don't even try. Like, it's just your voice. Do you think I have a Southern voice? Do you think my voice is Southern?
Compared to mine?
Well, just in general.
I don't think you talk Southern.
I don't think I do either, but when I go places, like when we talk to my friend Dusky, he and I obviously don't talk the same. He very much has a Northern, like, he doesn't have like a deep Boston accent, but he definitely doesn't. He and I don't have the same like tone, same sound.
Right.
So I don't necessarily think that I sound Southern, but I only know what I know. You know what I mean? So like anyway, nonetheless, that's not why we're here.
I don't think you sound like your country or anything.
Yeah. I don't either. But I wonder if we went somewhere else. Obviously, we live in the South, and so I wonder if we went up north somewhere, if maybe they would. I definitely think they would know that you were from the South.
Oh yeah, anywhere we go, they know. Ooh, you from the South?
Yeah, I don't know how. I really don't know. If you're from the North, I'd love to know. Do I sound like I have a Southern accent? Hey, fun fact. All right, this has nothing to do with this. Fun fact. I was looking at some statistics about our podcast the other day, and 4% of our listeners are not from the United States. 4% of our listeners are not from the United States, Christy.
Where are they listening from?
All right, just guess.
No, don't you tell me countries or no.
Yeah, countries are not your strength. We need to play a game one day.
I don't even know what states are.
We need to play a game one day called "Is This a Country or a State?" You
better let me study.
That would not go so well. I don't think that would go so well for you.
No, especially countries.
Okay, all right. But listen, this was wild to me. I cannot understand it. I really think there's probably something wrong in the statistics, but 4% of our podcast listeners are from Germany.
Do you know anybody in Germany?
I don't know one person from Germany, but evidently
We're a hot commodity.
We are hot in Germany right now. We are popping.
Coming in hot.
We are. Evidently, we're making moves in Germany somehow, some way.
Well, we're branching out.
Yeah, we are. We are branching out. We got video. We are back on video. That was a big hit, actually. The video thing. I had several people say that they watched us over on Spotify on the video, so that was pretty cool.
I had a hard time figuring out
it
Spotify.
Wasn't easy,
but I also don't know how to do stuff, so I don't know how to work stuff. So when I went to watch us, I was like,
yeah, it wasn't I
don't know how to
easy.
do this.
It wasn't an easy find, so you had to hit the play button, and then once you hit play on Spotify, you could tap the bottom of the screen and it would pull up.
That sounds easy now that we've done it, but my very first experience with Spotify and to watch somebody on Spotify,
I agree.
I thought I was in the wrong space.
No, I agree. It was not easy, but hopefully we've got it figured out. Well, hey, listen, we've got a good podcast today. We got a couple things that we want to talk about, a couple things that we want to do. One of those things is we want to give an update on what's new. We do this every week, every podcast. We give an update on what's new, just kind of what's been happening in our world since the last time that we did the podcast. So why don't you jump in? What is new with you? What do you have that's new that's happening in your world? Do you have anything that's going on?
It's been a very quiet week here for me.
Yeah, quiet week. Not a whole lot happening.
No, not
Any
a whole lot going on in
updates
my
on
weight.
anything?
Not a whole lot going on in my weight loss journey. So I hurt my knee, and I hadn't been able to walk. And I thought, wow, I'm losing weight on the Weight Watchers without walking. Well, I started back walking last week. Pretty good. You know.
I mean, you were pretty
And
consistent last week.
I gained 2.3 pounds. So I'm thinking it's either what I eat that caused that, or I walked and I've got some muscle.
So you think you gained 2.3 pounds of muscle last week because you went walking?
That's my take on it.
I agree. I know. Hey, I think you did. You did some serious walking. You did some serious walking.
So either I don't know. I tracked my food and stuff. I don't know. It kind of goes up and down.
It is it's a roller coaster.
I
It
used
goes up
to
and
be at one spot and I would teeter-totter.
Yeah.
And now I've gone down, 20 pounds. So now it's teeter-totter in there. So I'm either up 2 or down 2. So
yeah, you're doing phenomenal though. I would not let that hinder you. I would just keep going, keep on moving on.
But I will say, I think it's from I got some good leg muscles this week.
There you go.
And gained my 2.3 pounds.
Yeah, you
muscle,
did. You
so.
gained 2.3 pounds of muscle. Way to go. Way to go.
But that's about it. I don't really have a whole lot.
Let's see. I'm trying to think if I had anything new. So we've got I actually been doing a new job, a new part of my job, where I used to have so I oversaw the finances of the church, but I never touched the finances. So I just would look at the numbers of what came in. Well, we had a transition, and now I'm actually very hands-on in the entire process, from basket to bank, basically when stuff comes in and then having to input data. And so that has kept me really busy. So it's been a lot of stuff that's been going on and that role specifically is something that's very time consuming. So that's kept me really busy at work. And so that another really cool thing is we have been watching a new show called She-Hulk on Disney Plus. I actually really like it. It's 3 episodes in right now. I actually really like it. What do you think about She-Hulk?
So I think it's good because I can't wait till the next episode comes on.
Yes.
We've watched a couple different ones and they kind of bored me.
Yeah, there's been a couple of them that I have not really liked.
The one with the little girl that was before this one, it wasn't any good at all. I didn't even finish watching
Miss Marvel. You weren't a big fan of Miss Marvel. I wasn't either.
It was not good.
Yeah, I didn't. Emma did finish it, but I did not finish it.
And then we watched one. What did we watch?
We watched Loki, and it was terrible.
Yeah, no, it's been recent. So we watched 2 things. One was with the Star Wars.
Oh, Obi-Wan.
It was good.
Obi-Wan was really good.
That one was good. But then you watch one with a bald-headed man and a head on the bounty hunter. He was a bounty hunter.
Boba Fett.
That was not so good.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
So I wouldn't recommend those. Yeah. So
I agree. Boba Fett was not that great. Obi-Wan was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked that. It was a good show.
I have caught up on a show I watch on Hallmark. For all you Hallmark watchers out there listening today and watching us, Chesapeake Shores. We can watch. You used to couldn't watch past seasons of Chesapeake Shores on Hallmark.
So that's brand new, huh? Hallmark stepping up their game.
I don't know if it's YouTube TV that we have or what, but I was able to go back because I missed all last season because we got rid of DirecTV.
Right.
But no. So I'm caught up.
Okay.
Now I'm watching this season. I think there's only one more season after this, and it's over.
Okay.
Oh,
so going back to She-Hulk. Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I went down a rabbit hole.
No. That's fine, and I that's fine. But going back to She-Hulk, there was this might be a spoiler. Okay.
No, don't spoil it. Some people hadn't seen it.
I won't spoil it. But there was a famous rapper that made a cameo appearance inside of this week's episode. So that is a small spoiler, but I won't give it away, okay?
I had no clue who it was.
And you saw this person and you said who is that? Mm-hmm. And they had talked about the person the whole episode.
Right.
And then the person was actually in the episode at the very, very end. So that may be a small spoiler, but I won't say who it was.
Probably not. It won't spoil it, guys.
Not to you. Not to you.
It won't spoil it, y'all, because y'all probably won't know who it is either.
So you didn't have any idea. And then Emma said, well, her and this other person sound very similar, and you didn't have any idea who that person was either. Is that correct?
I don't even remember the names.
Okay, all right. So I thought we would play a game. I got a game for you, okay?
Okay.
So I am going to just read some rap names, okay? Now, just to make it easy, because the honest truth is looking up rap names is like a lot. There's a lot. So I'm going to limit what we're looking at in rap names that start with the name Lil.
Are you going to give me multiple choice?
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you a name, and I want you to tell me if this is a real rap name or a fake one. Okay? So is this a real person that is a rapper? Now, let me just preface this and say, I'm not familiar with a lot of these either. Okay,
this is gonna be fun. Okay,
but I have heard of some of them. I cannot say that you should go listen to their music. I actually suggest that you probably don't want to go and listen to their music. But this is just, I thought about it when we were watching She-Hulk and you had no idea who the guest star was. I thought it would be fun just to see if you could guess if it's a real rap name or not. Okay? All right. So is this a real rap name or not? And we're only doing rappers that start with the word Lil. Okay? Lil.
How many rappers have the name Lil?
You're about to be surprised. Okay?
Okay.
All right. First one. Is this a real rap name or not? Lil Herb or Herb. Lil Herb.
No.
That's incorrect. Lil Herb is a real rap name. Okay. All right. You ready for number 2?
What does he sing?
I have no idea. I really have no idea what Lil Herb sings.
Like with some parsley and
I don't know.
some cilantro.
As I said, Lil Herb may be the greatest rapper since Snoop Dogg, or Lil Herb may be the most profane rapper ever. I honestly don't know. He's just on the list. Okay,
I won't forget him.
All right, so Lil Herb.
Okay.
All right, be listening. Well, don't be listening to that stuff. Okay, here's another one. All right, Lil Half Dead. And just for reference, Half Dead is not HALF. It's 1/2, like the half, like a fraction.
What do I need to go with my gut?
Yeah. Is that a real rapper or is it not a real rapper?
My gut says no.
Okay.
But if Lil Herb made it, then
Yeah.
I don't even know the name you just said. Lil Half Dead?
Yeah, Lil Half Dead.
I say he's real.
Lil Half Dead is real.
Okay.
He is real. Good job.
All right, it's a gut game. I'm going to go with my gut.
Okay. All right, here we go. All right, here's another one. Real rapper or not, Lil Nut. What are you laughing about? Lil Nut.
Because a phrase comes to my head.
Okay, wow. Family friendly podcast.
I don't even
Christy.
know where it would come from.
Okay.
So.
Is that you think that's a real rapper's name?
Lil Nut.
Yeah.
No.
It is a real rapper's name.
I'd like to meet Lil Nut.
Lil Nut? Okay. All right. Here's another one. Lil Uzi Vert.
Oh my gosh.
Lil Uzi Vert.
No.
That is incorrect. That is a real rap name.
That is ridiculous.
How about Lil Pump? Lil Pump.
I mean, it sounds like it should be. It's better than what you just said.
Yeah.
So I'd say yes.
That is correct.
Okay.
I'm actually just going, I'll tell you what, let's do this.
Is every name on there that you suggested?
Every name I'm giving you is real. I'm just going to read some out and you just give me your reaction.
Every one of them.
They're real rappers.
Well, why don't I tell you who I feel like is a rapper?
This should be great. I don't know what you're about to say, but I can't wait to hear it.
And there Lil Nicky.
Lil Nicky. Lil Nicky's a movie with Adam Sandler in it.
Like,
All right,
her name's not Lil Nicky. Is there a Lil Ricky?
Well, there's Nicki Minaj.
Is her name Lil Nicky?
I don't think it's Lil Nicky. I think it's now. There's Lil Kim, who was a rapper back in my day, like when I was younger.
What about
she
the
ran
guy?
around with Biggie Smalls, Puff Daddy.
Lil Kid.
All right, let me just read you some names, okay? Tell me if you've ever heard of these or if you think these are good rap names, okay? Again, all of these are just, you asked how many start with Lil. I'm about to read a couple of you, okay? All right, Lil Baby.
Okay.
All right, Lil Bibby.
Is the next one Lil Bobby?
No, it's Lil Mo. Lil Mo. Would you
Mo.
listen to a song by Lil Mo?
Maybe.
Okay, Lil Ceti.
Ceti.
Lil C.
Lil C.
Lil C Dre.
C Dre. Okay.
Lil 2Z. Lil Herb. Lil Half Dead. Lil Jon. You ever heard of Lil Jon? Lil Jon is famous. He's probably the most famous one that we've said so far, other than maybe Lil Baby. Lil Jon, he rapped with Usher in the yeah, do 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 do.
I didn't know that.
Yep. So that's Lil Jon. Lil Smarty, Lil Kim, Lil Nut, Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Pump, Lil Peep, Lil Quay, Lil Scrappy, Lil Tay, Lil Wayne. Now we saw Lil Wayne. He was on The Mask, the show where you take the mask off. He left on the first episode.
He had things to do.
I think so. I think he actually
He
did.
had another job.
Yeah, Lil Wayne, Lil Yachty, Lil Face. Would you like for your rap name to be Lil Face?
I mean, all these sound ridiculous. So
Lil Gucci, Lil Fo, Lil Easy, Lil Mosey, Lil Tekka.
Little Gucci.
Yeah.
Don't get that mixed up with anything.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. All right, Lil Bat. Lil Bat.
Lil Bat.
Lil Co. Lil Double O. Lil SD. Lil TJ. There's a lot. I mean, we can just keep on going. Lil Aaron.
Okay. Well, we can be Lil Chris. Lil Christy.
That's it. So for the rest of the podcast, I'd like to be known as Lil Chris, and I will call you Lil Christy.
Okay, Lil Chris.
All right, Lil Christy. As we continue on, is there anything else that's new that's happening in your world? Can you think of anything?
Well, since we had some followers last week, we did go to Kroger for Kroger pickup today.
Yeah.
We were anticipating to see No Belt Boy.
We actually got a lot of people that responded to your story about the No Belt Boy.
Yeah, I told Chris, Lil Chris.
Yeah,
Lil Chris. I said, we got to go pick up our Kroger groceries today. I said, I hope you get to meet No Belt Boy. And I said, I'm going to get him to tell you a joke. And you were like, no. I was like, yeah, and I'm going to record him while I do it. And then I was like, oh, that might break the law if I record somebody that doesn't know.
You can record people without their permission.
But I was so disappointed. He must not work on Sundays. So I do know that he's normally there on Saturdays.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he wasn't there.
Okay.
We got a nice little fella today.
Yeah, he was, and it was quick.
Man, he put the groceries in, shut the trunk, and we were gone.
You know, I feel like after talking to my sister earlier today, I feel like we thought that we were really cool doing grocery pickup. But now there's grocery delivery, and I feel like going to the store to pick up your groceries makes us senior citizens.
Well, I still like grocery pickup. And I don't know how I'd
I'm into
feel.
this grocery delivery.
But listen, how would we feel about one little fella
I feel great about it.
bringing all of our $200 worth of groceries a week
I feel great about it.
to the front door?
I have zero problem with it.
I don't know if I could make somebody do that
100% could.
without tipping them good. So might as well go pick up my own groceries and save a little bit of money.
You got to tip them? You think you got to tip them?
If somebody's going to deliver,
valid.
it takes
No, you're
4
right.
people to unload our groceries.
That's valid.
And so I wouldn't want to put that on anybody.
Okay.
And that would probably lead to what we're talking about today.
All right.
I'll talk about it later.
So that probably does. So one last thing, and kind of goes into our main topic of conversation for today. And this is actually a conversation that I had with some people. Ganker, I think Evan was in that conversation. Maybe Dusky. I can't remember. I think it was Dusky. Anyway, we were talking about, are you a good friend? And the topic came up about being a good friend. And I'm going to be 100% honest. I just say this with all sincerity and all humbleness. I am not a good friend. I do not think that I am a good friend. Do you think that you are a good friend? Like if you're friends with someone, do you feel like you are a good friend?
I think I'm a good friend. I don't have a lot of friends, but I have a few friends. You don't need a whole lot of friends.
Yeah.
You just need that little circle of friends.
And
I feel like now I may be wrong. If you start listing off stuff and I have a checklist that says, well, no, I'm not, then I would say that. But I
what
think
do
I'm a
you
good
think?
friend.
All right. Tell me why you think you are a good friend, and I will tell you why I think I am not a good friend.
I think a good friend checks up on their friends.
Okay. I am not good at that.
I think a friend, if my friends were sick or family was sick, I would try to make them feel better, whether it take them something to eat or just make sure they had something that they need, or at least send a text to say, hey, I saw you're sick. Is there anything you need? Just check up on them.
Yeah, I would do that. I think I would send a text to check up on somebody. I would do that. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you why I don't think I'm a good friend, okay? So this is why I don't think I am a good friend. And it's really not because I don't want to. And let me preface this and say, I do have amazing friends that demonstrate friendship amazingly to me. Mm-hmm. So I see this happen. Like I see other people being my friend, and it makes me feel bad because I know I am not.
You wouldn't do the same thing.
I'm not that level of friend back.
Okay.
I'm not that. I had a friend one time. All right, let me just tell you a story. I had a friend one time. I did not call him back. He had called me. I did not call him back. Mm-hmm. It got so bad that even when I knew that I needed to answer the phone, mm-hmm. I wouldn't, because it had been so long since I had not answered the phone. And I didn't feel like I had the time to explain why. And so it just made it why I had not been answering the phone. And so it just made it longer and longer and longer. And so to me, if that happens to me, I'm out, bro. But this friend stopped what they were doing. They drove to where I live, which was an hour away from where they were, mm-hmm. to find me.
To make sure you were okay.
To make sure I was okay, and to figure out why I wasn't answering the phone. And that, to me, is one of the greatest demonstrations of friendship ever. I don't know that I would do that.
Why, though? Do you think it's an inconvenience?
I don't know why. I don't know. I don't think it's... And I love the friends that I have. The friends that I have are really great friends. They are really good people. They would do anything for you. If I called them right now, I can name 2, 3, maybe 4 people that I could call right now that literally would stop whatever they were doing to come and help me. But I'm just not that kind of friend back. Why is that? Why do you think that is? Fix me. I need you to fix me right here, right now.
I just said, I think that it's an inconvenience for you sometimes to take the time out of your day to do something for someone else. Now, we've talked about selfishness before, and you think that you're a self. No, I'm not saying you're a selfish person.
I naturally, in my natural man, I am a selfish person by nature.
And I'm not.
You are not. You are a
maybe that's why I think I'm a good friend.
You're a selfless person by nature.
Mm-hmm.
So
maybe it's that. Maybe
so. I don't know. So I don't, and that's what I was saying in this conversation, and they were all like, "Well, yeah, I feel like I'm a good friend." Different things. And so Ganker asked me. He said, "Well, would you officiate? Would you be in my wedding?" That's what he said. Now Ganker's married. He's been married for a long time. He said, "Would you be in my wedding?" I was like, no. And Ganker is one of those 4 people. I think Ganker is one of those 4 people. He lives 3 hours away, and if I call and say, "Ganker, I need something," I genuinely feel like he would stop and come and help me in any way that he could. He's that kind of person. And he asked me, he said, "Would you be in my," and he's married. This is hypothetical. Yeah. "Would you be in my wedding?" And I was like, "Nah, I would not want to be in the wedding." He was like, "Well, why?" Well, there's a couple reasons. One, when you're in somebody's wedding, you have to pay a lot of money. Number 2, the requirement that it takes time-wise to be in a person's wedding is a lot. It is a lot to be in. Like, asking someone to be in your wedding is like you asking them to marry you themselves. I'm just saying. It's a big commitment. So I told him I would not be in his hypothetical wedding.
So do you want me to tell you my thought on that?
All right, I'm ready.
So I think if you're asked to be in someone's wedding, 9 times out of 10, they consider you a friend.
No, I agree.
And you should be honored.
Or they need to fill a spot.
It
depends on when you were asked.
Yeah, that depends too.
If you were asked first, you're in.
Oh, so if you're
asked
the head of the wedding,
if there's 10 people and you're asked 9 or 10, you're a spot filler.
So
just saying.
So if you were 10, you would definitely be out. If
I'd 100%. I'd be like, what number? What number am I that you asked me?
Yeah.
What about you? If somebody asked you to be in their wedding, would you be?
If they were a friend of mine, yeah. I'd like to put on a pretty dress and be pretty for 5 minutes. You say it takes a lot of effort, but
so much effort.
I don't agree. I think friends would ask friends to be in the wedding. I think you don't put too much time in it. Now, girls will probably take more time than boys. You just have to get fitted for your tux, and then maybe go hang out with them the night before.
Yeah, there's bachelor parties.
One maybe.
There's wedding showers.
Boys don't go to wedding showers.
No, I don't. But then now they've got this whole thing where there's boy and girl wedding showers. And then you're in the wedding party, and so you're obligated to go to those things. You have to go to the rehearsal. You have to go somewhere after. You have to go to the rehearsal dinner. Then you have to go to the after the rehearsal dinner.
You like food.
Yes.
I would not eat a good rehearsal dinner and food and cake at the wedding. I'm going for the cake. I'm just saying. I don't even have to be invited to a wedding. Just let me come eat the cake.
If you knew that there was the greatest cake ever, this is a side story, and we'll come back to the topic.
I would become their friend.
If you knew that there was the greatest cake ever at a wedding, would you go to that wedding uninvited just to eat the cake?
My first response is, yeah. I wouldn't. But I become their friend on Facebook, and hey, can I have a piece of that cake?
So this is definitely a thing that I know is, a lot of times people try to show highlights. This is definitely not a topic that is a highlight for me. Slightly embarrassed, but it is a very real thing. Something that I know that I need to do better at.
Well, I think it's just a struggle. I think we all struggle. This is just a struggle that you're openly talking about. Is not being a friend. So
I found an article in BetterUp. A website is called BetterUp.com. Okay, BetterUp.com. And the article title is, "What are the qualities of a good friend?" And I actually felt better about my level of friendship after reading this. Now, I know that there's more to it than this, but actually I felt better. But then there's another part that I felt challenged about, and I'll tell you what that is when I get to it. Okay. So these are 11 things, just really quick. A person that's a good friend has these qualities. Number one, they live with integrity. So they do what they say that they're going to do. They have high morals, high principles, all those kind of things. Number two, and I do feel like this is true. I feel like I qualify for this.
Well, I think you qualify for integrity too. So that was a check mark.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
So thank you for that. Number two is you can trust them.
Okay.
I think I am if you tell me something, I'm not going to tell it. I feel like I'm pretty trustworthy.
Okay. I think I'm trustworthy too.
Yeah, I think you're trustworthy.
We'll just mark 2 check marks for each.
Number 3, dependability is their middle name. So they're very dependable. You can rely on them. That's not me. I am not. That's probably not my. I get an X on this one.
Okay.
All right. What about you? What do you think?
I think I'm dependable.
Yeah, I think so.
Unless it's having to drive somewhere to do something for somebody.
Well, so you are more likely, though. All right. Because deep down, I really want to please people. Like I'm a people pleaser deep down. I don't always show it, but that's true of me. I have been in my life, maybe not as much now, notorious for saying yes and then not being able to follow through, where you are more like, if you can do it, you'll say yes. But if you can't or don't want to, you got no problem saying no.
Well, I'm going to have a problem saying no, but I will say no.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think you get a check. I don't get a check on that one. For the record, I didn't say it, but I think you get a check on the integrity one too.
Thank you.
So you have 2 checks, or you have 3 checks. I have 2. All right.
Thank you, little Chris.
All right. Yes. All right. Number 4, they're loyal. A good friend is loyal. I feel like I check this box.
Yes, I do too.
I feel like I am loyal, even if you are in the wrong, I feel like I'll stick with you, but I also.
Well, I may not be loyal then. If I get hurt by a friend, that'd be tough to I don't think
necessarily I mean they hurt you personally, but like if you see them doing wrong, you're not just going to drop them. Or if somebody's talking about them, you're not going to just walk away from them. So I don't think that necessarily means like they've done you wrong specifically.
Because I have a hard time.
Yeah, no, you're a dropper of people when they do you wrong.
I have a hard time with that. So that's a downfall for me, I guess. Okay.
Number 5, they have empathy for others. I feel like I do this.
You do, but I don't. You are an empathetic person.
Yes.
I'm not empathetic. I used to think I was empathetic, but I don't think I'm empathetic, and I don't know if that's right or wrong in me.
Yeah, you've said that before. We've had that conversation before where you say,
I will give anybody anything.
Yes, you're very generous.
But I don't know, there's that line of like, man, they are either using me or they don't really need it, and I just don't feel like I'm an empathetic person. For instance, example, with the girls, our daughters, I'm not one of those moms that if Emma was little and she fell and hurt herself, I was like, oh no, and I coddled and cradled her and just loved her. I love them to death. I was more like, get up, brush it off, you're not bleeding to death. And I don't know if it's just a scared instinct of mine to take the initial action and not feel any emotion at all. Just kind of, maybe I'm thinking it won't be bad if I do that, They won't be hurt more if I'm just really, I don't know, stern with it. But I don't think I'm a very empathetic person. Now, I think I'm sympathetic.
Yeah.
I know there's a difference, but anyway, go ahead.
All right.
But I do think you feel way more for others than I do for others.
Yeah. I think I checked that box.
Yeah.
You uncheck the empathy box for yourself.
Yes.
All right. Number 6, they're good listeners. I think I'm a good listener, but I have bad listening skills. Because I am a thinker, and I am thinking about how I'm going to respond before you're through talking. And so for that, I probably am not a good listener. I don't get that check.
So you said you're a good listener, but you don't listen
I have
at
bad
all.
listening skills.
So how are you a good listener? So that means if I say one thing, but I'm trying to say 10, you're going to listen to the one thing and not the 10 other things just to answer the first thing I said?
That is correct.
Well, then I don't think you're a good listener.
So you think I don't get that butt check? Okay.
You don't listen very well to people, though.
I agree.
I've been right beside you before, and somebody would say their grandma died, and your reaction is not like my reaction. So I'm like,
I am not laughing because you said somebody's grandma died. I am laughing about I've had this happen multiple times where somebody would come and tell me something, and then you would walk behind me and say, "Did you hear what they just said?" And I said, "Not a clue."
no. And it could be something horrible. And you weren't listening at all. I don't know what's in your head, what
That's
you're
so
thinking
true.
about. But so I don't know. I don't know if you
All
check
right,
off.
so I'm not a good listener. Are you a good listener? You are?
I think so.
Okay. All right.
Well, I don't talk a whole lot, so I'd rather somebody just talk my ears off and I just listen to them.
Okay.
And then just go about my day.
All right. Number 7, their confidence is contagious. Very confident person.
I think you feel like you're a very confident person.
I don't.
Like when you walk in a room, they know who you are. They're going to smile, feel good.
Yeah. No, I agree with
I
that.
think that. I mean, just about anywhere you go.
Yeah, I
and
agree
you're
with
very
that.
unforgettable, so I would say there's a little confidence level there.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Yeah. What about you? Do you feel like you check that box? I think you are confident, but you're just quiet. But you're a confident person. Like, you're confident in who you are, what you believe.
Yeah.
You just don't like to talk to people.
There's a quiet confidence, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not coming in a room, standing in the middle, letting everybody know I'm there. We're about to have a good time, whatever. I'm more like, let me sit in the corner and just watch everybody.
Yeah. But I don't think outgoing and confidence are the same. I mean, you've got introverts, extroverts, but an introvert can be confident.
Like, I'm confident I can cook.
Yeah.
I'm confident I can raise the girls. We've about done it, 13 and 18.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like bringing confidence to a room, I think you would do that.
All right, here's the definition. I think you apply.
Okay.
So this is the explanation for this, according to this article, is they are comfortable with themselves and comfortable with you. Real confidence will inspire you. It draws you. It lends you courage. So I feel like you check that. Like, in situations that you're with friends, you are confident in yourself and they are confident in you.
That's good. I say okay.
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 All right. Number 8, spending time with them makes you feel good. We're not big spenders of time with people in general. We spend time with each other. Your love language is quality time, but we're not a go and hang out, spend a lot of time with a lot of people. But we enjoy it when we do.
Right. Well, we went out to eat with friends the other night.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we had a great time.
Got home real late, but we never do that.
No.
I thought that was a very enjoyable time.
Yeah.
And when I go to the beach with my friends, we normally go once a year, I enjoy the time that we spend together there too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or when I go with my sister and do things with her.
Okay.
It's enjoyable.
All right. Number 9 is, this is definitely me. You wonder, and I think you ask yourself this question about me often, is you wonder how they are not a professional comedian.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you say it like that?
You think You and your mom think you are the most funniest person
Hold on,
around.
me and my mom?
It doesn't matter what you say. Even if you said you had poop on your shoes from a dog, she's going to laugh like that's the funniest thing she ever heard. I'm just giving an example.
Okay.
Something that wouldn't be funny.
You know what's great about...
But your mom would laugh. Your mom would laugh.
She knows good humor.
Your lettuce joke with the salad.
The lettuce joke is a classic.
You know, she will laugh.
If you're not familiar with the lettuce joke, let me set it up for you, okay? Here's how it works. Here's how the lettuce joke works. Use it at your next family function. When you hold hands, say, I'll pray. And then you lead off with this. You say, let us pray. And then don't say anything for like 5 seconds.
You will have people looking around.
People will start looking around. And then you say, well, if the lettuce won't pray, I guess I will. That's a classic.
Yep. And anyone that knows you that's asked you to pray has heard the lettuce joke.
That's a classic. And it's hilarious every time. I've said it for the last 44 years. I could say that joke before I started speaking, and it's still hilarious.
When you pass away, whoever does your funeral, I'm going to ask them to do the lettuce joke.
I like
just
it.
So they'll remember you.
I like it.
Not that I expect that anytime soon.
Yeah.
But be funny.
All right. Do you think you're a comedian?
I think I'm funny.
You are the funniest person you know.
We'd have to ask the podcast on the stream.
You know what I hear from people all the time that listen to the podcast? They say the podcast is good and Christy is hilarious.
Yes.
People say that all the time.
I've been saying it for years. Now people just actually see it.
So you've been saying that you're hilarious for years and people are just catching up now.
Well, you know, a lot of people don't hear from me.
Yeah.
So when they do hear from me, they're like, wow, she is so funny.
All right. Number 10, do 10. I'll do 10 and 11 real quick.
Okay.
Is they're non-judgmental. I don't feel like I'm necessarily judgmental. Are you judgmental?
To my friends?
Yes.
No.
Are you judgmental to other people?
Maybe.
Okay. All right. And then number 11 is they're low maintenance. I feel like that's where I operate in my... All right. I feel like I'm low maintenance, but I also operate in low maintenance. So, like, if you are a high maintenance person...
It's hard.
I am not... It's not going to work real well. Uh-huh. Like, if you need a lot from me, it is not going to work really well.
Right.
For me. So, what about you? Do you think you're low maintenance?
Yeah, I do.
I think you're low maintenance.
Yeah, I don't think I'm a hard person to be a friend with.
You know what? That's going to be I'm going to have that conversation. I want us to do that in a podcast because I think I have also recently realized that I'm a difficult person.
No.
And so
you just realizing that?
But
we need to talk about that.
I don't want to get into it now because it's a whole thing.
It'd be another whole hour.
But I don't think that I'm a difficult person, but I think it is perceived that I'm a difficult person.
Oh.
And so I will have that conversation at some point. I've recently realized that. All right, how to spot a bad friend. This is the part that I think I don't. The last one is the one I don't think I do real well with, and I'll tell you why. Not the first two though. They constantly one up you. I don't do that. They're a bad influence. I'm not a bad influence, but and I think specifically about Ganker. This makes me feel real bad. Is they bully or belittle you. And I don't bully him and I don't belittle him, but I pick at him. Mm-hmm. And so this makes me feel bad and I want to be, so Ganker,
and
I apologize.
He's such a good friend.
He is a really great friend. He's a good dude and I don't want to make him feel bad. So I'm going to do better. But I really love to do the Ganker voice. Is there a way for me to keep doing the Ganker voice and not make him feel bad?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
That's a shame. I may not make the improvement on this then, Ganker. So
and
sorry.
I know that I know Ganker doesn't think that at all, but I totally could see. Well, I mean, we've talked about it before. You don't ever want to make fun of someone.
No, that's true.
You never want to make fun of someone just to make people laugh.
Yeah.
Especially if they're friends. So
No, I agree.
I would totally say no.
I do that. I don't have a great excuse. I don't think it makes him feel bad, but if it does, that would make me feel bad. So
I feel bad for you, Ganker. That's why I
I'm
say
gonna try to
stuff.
do better. I'm gonna try to do better, Ganker.
Okay.
I love you, buddy. All right. So, and then the article goes on and says a couple other things. So what have we learned? One, you're a better friend than me. Number two, I need to be nicer to Ganker. But number three, I think the walkaway point for this, and actually will lead to the last thing I want us to talk about today. I think the walkaway point from this is there's always a way to get better, and nothing is ever done. And the whole idea that you can't teach a dog new tricks is absolutely not true. I think everybody can still continue to grow. Not everybody is great at everything. And so we can continue to get better at whatever it is that we need to get better at. We can continue to do that. So, and that kind of leads me to the last thing I want us to talk about. And it's actually an interesting thought that I had. And I think I didn't know that we would do that, but I think we tied it in really well. But it's actually a story out of the Bible. It's Numbers chapter 22. Numbers is an Old Testament historical book. It's giving historical stories, like a history book reads. That's kind of the way Numbers reads. And so there's a story about a guy named Balaam. And so I won't get into all the details. It's Numbers 22. If you want to read it, it's really an interesting story. It's an interesting story to really study. But here's the really quick version of it. Essentially, Balaam basically Balaam wanted to please other people. God was saying, I want you to do this, but Balaam was torn because he had people in his ear saying, I want you to do this, I want you to do this, I want you to do this. And so finally, God was like, just whatever. Just do it. Just do whatever it is you want to do. So Balaam gets on a donkey and he's traveling along. Well, something really strange happened. It was really miraculous. I think miraculous is a better word than strange, where three times on their journey, the donkey stopped in the middle of the road because it saw an angel of the Lord blocking its path, right? So there's this angel. Well, Balaam couldn't see it. And so all three times he'd get mad and he'd beat the donkey and like scream at him and yell. Mm-hmm. And finally, the third time, Balaam opened the mouth of the donkey. Just imagine this, how crazy this is. Balaam opened the mouth of the donkey and the donkey said, yo, bro, why are you hitting me? And then Balaam and the donkey start having this crazy conversation. It's a wild, weird story. But here's the thought that I thought of that I think applies to the get better part, but I think it applies in other ways too. And it's this. God was able to use a donkey to do what he needed him to do for Balaam. Okay? God was able to use a donkey. And it doesn't matter. I had this thought the other day. It doesn't matter how far gone we feel like we are, how much we've messed up, how much we've done that we feel like we can't recover from. If God is able to use a donkey, how much more is he wanting to use you and I? If God can, think about that. If God can use a donkey, how much more does God want to use me and you? And the thought that I had was, you and I have never been donkey enough for God not to use us. We have never been a big enough donkey that God can't use us. And so I just want us to encourage you that regardless of what your situation is, what you're going through, whatever, like I've talked about my weaknesses, I've talked about my struggles some today. Whatever yours is, man, nothing is too far. Nothing has happened too big. Nothing is too great that God doesn't still love you, and he still doesn't want to use you to do something for him. And so I want you to be encouraged in that, to not be discouraged, regardless of how big of a donkey that you've been. Just keep on doing what it is that God wants you to do. What do you think about that, Christy?
I think it's good, especially coming from a quiet person like me. Sometimes I won't say things.
Yeah.
Or, speak up when I feel like I should sometimes.
Do you think you've been a donkey sometimes?
I don't think I've been a donkey.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go.
No, I don't. I mean, to me, I don't know. That would be like a butt, being a butt to people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think I'm a butt to people, but.
Well, I mean, I think you can be that way to people. I think you can be that way in life. You can be that way in situations.
Yeah.
But I just like the fact that if God was able to use a donkey, how much more does he love his people that were created in his image? And so if he can use a donkey, there's not one person that's on this planet that he can't use. And he doesn't love, and he doesn't value, and he doesn't think it's important. So anyway, man, I hope that encourages you. I mean, I hope that you enjoyed the podcast today.
It was fun.
It was fun. It was a good conversation, a good, open, honest conversation. I'm feeling better, feeling motivated, ready to be a better friend.
Go be a better friend this week.
Go be a better friend, be a better person this week. Don't be a donkey.
And add the word Lil to your name this week. And you can be a rapper.
That is correct. That is correct.
We're going to sign off in our rapper names?
Yeah, we will in a minute. Let me hit these closing things. Hey, guys,
okay.
Listen, wherever you listen, you can, make sure you follow the podcast, whether it's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Anchor. You can hit the follow button. That way you are aware whenever our new podcasts hit. Don't forget, you can also watch the video on Spotify. So it is difficult. We talked about that earlier, but you can do that if you want to. Also, if you can, leave us a review. It helps the podcast out. Let us know what you think. And, man, we'd love to hear back from you. So you can follow us on Instagram, Chris Lots, Christy Lots, spelled just like the podcast name. And our names are almost spelled the same. The only difference is you have a TY at the end of yours.
Yep.
So that's it. So, hey, listen, it's been a great podcast. Thank you so much for being a part. It really does mean a lot to us. And if you've made it this far, thank you so much for sticking with us until the end. Look forward to catching up with you next time. Until then, this is Lil Chris out.
And Little Christy out.
Bye, guys. Y'all have a good one.